Hi, today I'm excited to demonstrate CommHero. It's a platform we built to revolutionize and standardize incident communication management. Today's demo, I'll show you how CommHero eliminates communication toil during incidents, which allows engineering teams to focus more on what matters most, which is resolving technical issues quickly, removing the context switching from the process. So let's get started. This is my early stage landing page. Just some general information here. Still has some work to be done on it. But basically, this is the landing page for the site. Let's go ahead and go through a sign up. So for the sign up portion, we're just going to go ahead and fill this form out. Select our team. Create our password. Okay, so let me go ahead and get that verification process started. And upon login, what we'll see is just a generic dashboard where in the future, what it will host are like open incident counts, system health, vendor statuses, current vendor statuses, and just these tabs here for recent incidents, reports and analysis, configurations of your platform, so on and so forth. Um, but first, let's get started on the actual functionality that we have present. And what that would look like is we will go and build a connection. So right now we do have one connection available. It's a Slack connection, basically built for a workspace where we can communicate our updates to various different channels. But let's go ahead and make a Gmail connection so we can showcase that integration there. So what we do here is kind of just follow the form. It's easy and simple. Go ahead and put in our information. So our email account, which we're going to proxy communications through, it's going to be this here. We'll select our environment. And then we'll put in a brief description about that connection. And then we'll select which teams this connection is available to. So if someone signs up under the DevOps team, they will then fall under this connection group, which they can pull this connection and utilize it just as the SREs would. So we'll go ahead and connect. Continue through. Okay, so the connection is complete. If we go back to manage, we'll then pull that connection and we'll have those descriptions, the email account, the environment as well. So next what we're going to do is we're going to navigate over to our templates page. Let's create our first template. Okay, so when creating this first template, what we're going to do is we're actually going to emulate an authentication system access issue. And we are going to build this template to communicate to an external vendor. So let's first go ahead and build the actual subject. And then we'll also paste the body in. Template name is going to be vendor auth outage communication. Maybe asking yourself, what is this? So basically this is a dynamic variable. So some things when you send out incident communications or just communications in general, what you want to do is leave room for things to change because you may be sending this to more than one vendor. You may be needing more than one date time. You may have an incident number that may change based off when these things occur. So what I did is I built a dynamic variables piece to where you can plug and play different values for each run. So if we actually go ahead and put in a date time, for instance, you can see that it updates here. And this is just a preview of what the communication will look like once sending and that dynamic variable is filled in. So let's go ahead and select a connector. So basically we'll select our Gmail connector we just got finished building, and then we'll add our recipient. And then we save the template. So it was created successfully. Now let's go over and create a Slack template. So for the Slack template, it's basically the same thing. We'll name this internal outage communication. And then what we'll do here is we will just paste in our message. And this is what the message looks like. This is the preview of that message, and then it also handles the same dynamic variable uh, injection. One thing that's nice about this Slack piece is that we can actually select our connection, and it will dynamically query which channels that Slack connection has access to. So specifically for this incident, let's go ahead and put this in org incidents, and then we'll save that template. Now here comes the powerful part. So let's go ahead and navigate over to incidents. We don't have any currently being built, so let's go ahead and build one. So let's start by putting in our title, this incident name. Then we'll go ahead and put in a brief description of the incident. And this is more so of a grouping. So what we do here is we actually group the different templates to this specific incident, so we know which ones we want to run and execute if this incident were to occur. So we have our two templates that we just set up. We'll go ahead and append those to this parent incident, and then we'll just save the incident. You can see it popped up here. If we go to edit, we can see that it pulls those in. I can update these dynamically. But for now, let's go to run incident and see what that looks like. Okay, so what we have is the title here, the description here, and then we have the templates, the communication templates tied to each. Okay, so now that we have that piece, let's go ahead and run the incident. Okay, so here's where the dynamic variables come into play and are very useful for the communication team. So whether it be your SRE team, whether it be a cloud services team or incident management team, this is where they can input those dynamic variables in and get different values presented depending on the conditions of each outage. So let's get started. Let's start with the name of the vendor we will be communicating to. As we can see, both of these have reference. There's two templates that reference the same exact variable name, and we can dynamically link them or unlink these values. So I can change these values to something different if they share the same dynamic variable name. So let's go ahead and put in the start time. Obviously, the start time will be the same exact for this incident. And then the incident ID, which is only one template out of two referencing this incident ID dynamic variable. So let's go ahead and put that there. And then we can also preview it as well right before sending it, so we can see that they're injected properly and in the right sections. So with that being said, let's go ahead and run this. So as we're running this, the backend's processing it. We don't have to fumble or stumble over who gets what when. And then we can see it's pretty immediate. So let's go ahead and blow up this page here. We can see the incident actually landed inside of this org incidents channel in which we selected. And then we can also see it also landed in the Gmail inbox that we targeted for this communication. So to summarize it all, our vendors are informed, our stakeholders are updated, and most importantly, our engineering teams can focus entirely on resolving those authentication issues that they experience. This is the power of CommHero. So it eliminates communication toil, reducing context switching, and enables team to focus more on what they do best. Whether you have a dedicated incident management team or not, CommHero ensures your communication is consistent, professional, and immediate in nature. Yeah, so that's the basic features of CommHero. Still developing and working on MVP. Yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for the review.